Siblings, what's the worst thing your brother or sister has ever done? When I was 18, my sister had a baby boy, Luke. She and her boyfriend, now husband, wanted nothing to do with him, while they partied and lived their carefree lives. I stepped in. My grandmother became my anchor, helping me raise Luke while I finished high school. My parents chipped in $100 a month, but anyone who's raised a child knows that's barely enough for diapers and formula. A year later, they kicked us both out. My sister even said she wished she'd never had him. I went straight to my grandmother's house, and together, we got a family lawyer. I was granted custody, and my sister and her boyfriend signed away their rights. From that moment, Luke became my son in every way that mattered. Life wasn't easy, but we made it work. When Luke was 6, my grandmother passed away, and most of her estate was left to me. That's when my family suddenly reappeared in our lives. My dad made a real effort to reconnect, and we're still close. My mom stayed distant, but she treated Luke kindly. But my sister, when Luke was 8, both she and I got pregnant. That's when she started whispering poison into Luke's ears, telling him we'd abandon him once the baby arrived. One night, Luke broke down, sobbing, asking if we'd still love him after the baby came. That broke me. We cut contact again and got Luke into therapy. Years later, my sister reached out. By then, my husband and I were doing well, and our kids had everything they needed. But my sister's family was struggling financially. She began hinting that I should pay for my niece's expenses. Trips, gifts, school supplies. I love my niece and I've treated her to gifts and outings, but I made it clear, I'm not her parent. Luke is my son and he will always be my priority. Strangers, have you ever done something nice for someone you didn't know? One night, while dining out, I noticed a family at a nearby table, a mom and her 2 kids, maybe 5 or 6 years old. They were sharing a single plate of food between the 3 of them. The kids ate slowly, savoring each bite. I could tell they weren't there for a fun night out, but probably just seeking a warm place to sit and have a simple meal. Something about it caught my attention, and I couldn't look away. When the kids went to the restroom, I saw an opportunity to approach the mom. I offered to cover their meal and told her to order whatever she wanted. She hesitated, clearly embarrassed, but eventually admitted that it was her son's birthday. She had promised him a special dinner, and this was all she could manage. It struck me hard. I told the waiter to bring out the best dishes on the menu, along with a birthday dessert. While they enjoyed the meal, I slipped out and went to a store nearby to buy a $500 Amazon gift card, thinking it might help them with essentials or be a treat later. I discreetly handed her the gift card. As they were leaving, she looked at me stunned, tears welling in her eyes, trying to thank me. I simply told her, "You're doing amazing. Happy birthday to your son." The kids left with smiles. Restaurant servers, what's the biggest tip you ever got? I was serving a large family one evening, at least 10 of them. They immediately pushed tables together and started ordering 10 drinks, sodas, iced tea, lemonade, all different. I rushed to the back, making sure each drink was perfect. But when I brought them out, one person pointed out that one drink didn't have enough ice. Not just that one, but suddenly they claimed every drink needed fresh ice. I had to take them all back, refill with ice, and bring them out again. Not a single thank you. Then they began asking for extra sauces and side dishes they never touched. Requests piled up. No onions on one plate, extra onions on another. They asked for hot sauce, then said it was too spicy, and demanded a milder version. I ran back and forth so many times that I lost count. Each time I thought I had everything right, someone waved me down with another change. When it was time for the check, the total was about $400. By then, I was exhausted, dripping sweat, but I smiled and handed them the bill with a pen. They left it on the table. When I picked it up, I saw they had left me a $2 tip. Just $2 after all that running around. Before I could even process it, my manager pulled me aside. The family had complained about me, saying I gave them terrible service. I stood there holding their $210, wondering how anyone could say that with a straight face.